Hi, everyone, and thank you for being here. It's an honor to help kick off this year's ASCA World Clinic. On behalf of Fitter and Faster, I also want to thank Jennifer Lamont, Dan Mascolo, and their teams for the fantastic job they've done putting this event together. A lot has changed in fast swimming over the last 20 years, but I want to focus on just one piece of it. Back then, someone could set a world record on the other side of the globe, and hardly anyone would ever see it. Maybe you'd read about it in Swimming World or hear about it secondhand, but that was it. For example, Gary Hall Jr. once told me he had never even seen a video of Alexander Popov's 50 free world record of 21:64, even though Gary's 21:76 was the second fastest time ever at that point. So think about that. The two fastest men in history at that time, and one of them never even got to see the other guy's race. Then came YouTube. Suddenly we could watch those races, watch those swims, study the details, share them with athletes, and the athletes themselves started watching on their own, educating themselves, taking greater ownership of their swimming. That kind of access transformed the sport. Not because of tech suits, not because of new equipment, but because we could finally see, experiment, learn from one another, collaboration, sharing ideas, and learning together. And that spirit is exactly what makes this World Clinic so special. It's not about the sessions or the presentations, it's about the experience. Coaches come here and they don't just take notes, they form friendships. They connect with people outside their region. They see old friends from home and meet new ones from across the country and even from other side of the world. They walk away with memories, with ideas, with relationships that make them better coaches and keep them inspired in the sport. And that's the same spirit we try to bring with Fitter and Faster. Just as the World Clinic gets coaches out of their bubble, we give swimmers the chance to get out of theirs. To train with new people, to learn in new ways, to walk away with lessons and experiences that shape how they feel about swimming and their journey in the sport. And I believe that those kinds of experiences keep kids in the sport, and they also open the door for more kids to join it. They remind us that every goal is important. For one swimmer, it might be making the national team, and for another, it might be making the third JV relay. Both goals matter, and both deserve to be celebrated, because it's the collaboration within this ecosystem from the top levels to the grassroots that lift the entire sport. And along the way, those experiences reinvigorate swimmers. They make the sport about so much more than just the next practice, the next meet, or the next goal time. And that's critical today, when we're not only competing with other sports and activities for kids' attention, but also helping them navigate their own internal battles about what success and perseverance really means. We're proud that at the 2024 U.S. Olympic trials, 26% of all competitors had, at some point, attended a Fitter and Faster swim camp, some once and some 10 times. We know we're not the reason they made trials or the Olympic team, but we're proud to have been part of their experience, part of the environment, part of the opportunities that helped shape their path and kept them engaged in an important time in their lives. And that's really the point I want to make today. In swimming, the experiences matter. Collaboration, relationships, the moments that inspire, those are just as important as the workouts, the sets, and the drills. Because at the end of the day, the sets and practices are just words on a page or a whiteboard. What brings them to life is you, the coach on deck, building trust, creating culture, connecting with the swimmers as individuals. The best coaches know that they're not just delivering workouts, they build relationships, they create experiences, they give athletes something lasting to carry with them. So as you take this clinic in, I encourage you to not just trade sets or compare training cycles, but to talk about the human side of coaching. How do you turn a difficult situation into trust? How do you keep kids engaged when motivation dips? What do you do to make sure athletes Leave the sport with lessons that last. And when you have those conversations, don't let them end when the clinic ends. Follow up after the clinic. Stay connected, because that's how a conversation here can turn into a relationship for life. And just like those relationships can last a lifetime, the impact you make on your swimmers lasts too. When they look back years from now, they won't remember every set, but they will remember the experiences, the friendships, the lessons. That's what you were talking about. Okay, the moments that kept them moving forward. And that's the real power of coaching. And with that spirit in mind, here's someone I've been collaborating with for the past 10 years, someone who collaborates with hundreds of coaches across the USA, Canada, and beyond to bring meaningful experiences to swim communities everywhere. Please join me in welcoming my teammate, Susie Weissman, to present the finalists and announce the winner of the Age Group Coach of the Year Award.